People think that Tarantino's obsession with feet is solely fetishistic, but I'm here to show you how that couldn't be further from the truth. From a technical aspect, what's Tarantino most known for? His dialogue, his screenplay, his ability to captivate the audience with extended sequences of complex and unique verbiage. So the thought dawned on me, what if we're all missing a crucial element in his writing? What if his focus on feet is actually an extension of his screenplay, and there's a wealth of meaning waiting to be discovered? With this newfound revelation, I started viewing his films in a different way, and I found several nuggets of wisdom I'd like to share with you.
Gentlemen, you have my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Let's start with his most recent use of feet from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's understandable to think that the prominent display of dirty hippie feet here are simply showing how rugged and relaxed people like her lived at the time, or that it's an excuse for Tarantino to indulge in his fascination with feet. But let's slow things down and really look at what's happening. Why are her feet elevated on the dash like that? If you take a closer look, you can see that she has very calloused soles. Tarantino utilizes mise en scène to draw your attention to this detail. Her feet actually foreshadow Cliff and Pussycat's change in relationship later on, when she becomes callous towards him at the ranch. So by having them propped up right in front of Cliff's face, it's a clever metaphor for the events he will soon confront. This unique framing gives both Cliff and us as the audience the necessary breadcrumbs to predict this twist. Further symbolism can be found later on in the movie when the character of Sharon Tate has her feet displayed when in the theater. And again, you'd be forgiven for assuming this is just a detail you could gloss over, but I think the best aspects of her character can be found here. Every component given to us is there for a reason. Her feet could have been clean, so there has to be a purpose for why they're displayed this way. The dirt on her feet symbolize her connection to the real world, despite her newfound and rising fame. She represents a fairy tale-like innocence of the best aspects of Hollywood while still being authentic. Despite her extravagant lifestyle or the outward cleanliness of her go-go boots, inside, she's still true to herself. This naturality is proven by her stained soles. Her feet are lived in, and through them, you can unravel the story of her life. Tarantino has the mastery over his craft to tell this story simply through the dirt and wrinkles of her soles. This is what we in the film industry call cinema verite.
But my feet were dirty because I'd been walking around set. They stayed dirty in the movie because Quentin said, don't clean them. Someone ran in to do it and he was like, no, it's real.
But the symbolism doesn't stop there. Examining all elements of the visual composition, we can even find iconography in the background. On the left side of the screen, you can see another woman with her bare feet propped up, while on the right side, you can see some who don't. This juxtaposition and staging illustrates that some people, sadly, don't live their most authentic lives. They blend in and conform to the social norm, robbing themselves of individuality. The multiple layers of verisimilitude communicated to the audience with such minimal effort is a spectacular thing to witness. And hold on, because I'm not done yet. What does this scene in the theater and the car scene from before have in common? The elevation of feet. Even at Spawn Ranch, when we see the head of the house, Squeaky, for the first time, she's in a recliner with her feet elevated. You can also see various feet raised in the background here as well. This is Tarantino vehemently trying to tell us about the deeper meanings that these foot motifs are conveying. He's tried to show us in past films, but the brilliance of these metaphors seem to go right over the audience's heads. Like in Death Proof, there are several shots of women's feet throughout the runtime that are also elevated, including the superb use of mise en scène to illuminate the parallels of life and art in one shot. He even utilizes the opening credits to emphasize the importance of feet to his body of work. But I think the most meaningful example here can be found from the death of Jungle Julia. Here she is, enjoying life, spending time with her friends, hanging her foot out the window and pumping it to the rhythm of the music, just living her best life. And then stuntman Mike sociopathically and tragically kills her. But not only does he end her life, but he separates her energetic and youthful foot from the rest of her body. Her foot being ripped off is symbolic of life itself being torn away from her. It's an allegory that shows the vibrant and innocent life she was robbed of. Because what is life without feet? People say that this intro scene to Inglourious Basterds is one of the best demonstrations of subtext in a film, but I think within the same movie, they overlook an even more impressive one. The character of Bridget is a German actor, and I say actor, not actress, because the word actress is nonsensical. Bridget is a German actor who works as a double agent for the Allies. In a shootout that happens in a Nazi tavern, she gets an injury that, thank God, doesn't damage her foot directly, but it does damage her leg, requiring her to wear a cast over it. The subtext that can be inferred from this injury is showing how her character is becoming fragmented. Her secret life as a double agent is putting her in danger. She's tortured with paranoia and is weary of the harm that will come to her if she's exposed. And so now, even a part of her body is fragmented, just like her mind is. What better way to show that internal trauma than a manifestation of the sexiest physical aspect of her being damaged as well? The aesthetic contrast of having one pristine foot next to a wounded one perfectly coincides with similar themes throughout this movie, and I'd argue that this example is executed the best. So, as you can see, with some careful examination, we can start to understand that the foot motif in Tarantino films are clearly a necessary and useful reoccurring element. Anytime there are feet shown on screen, we should know that a deep and insightful allegory for life is present. The female foot, obviously, symbolizes the most beautiful aspects of life, while the dirt represents the gritty struggles that we push through. Tarantino's genius is in combining the two. This demonstrates the wisdom that, despite the trials and tribulations we encounter, we can still find beauty in life. And in fact, those hardships are something we wouldn't trade for anything because they made us who we are today. So we are actually more attractive and enticing with them than without them. Instead of wearing their hearts on their sleeves, the women of Tarantino movies have the bravery to wear them on the soles of their feet. Thanks for watching until the end. If you want to support the channel even further, consider joining my Patreon. You can participate in monthly Q&As and get insight into what I'm working on next. And a huge thanks to those of you who are already over there. Thanks for watching my videos.